Hey everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of the Stash Report from the Fast Project. It is October 11th, 2021. Couple of announcements, couple of releases, and we'll let you be on your way. We got the January 2022 releases for Aoshima. There are only two in 124 scale automotive, so uh, blatantly short. You may have noticed a few things are running late with Aoshima as it is for this fall. The Megane Zonda is not out yet. The 2000 GT Late Edition has not been released yet either. Looks like the Zonda will come out in November. Seems to be the more firm date with that. There's box art for it and stuff like that. That's usually the final step. We're looking at Aoshima's new kits. When there's box art, they're usually within about a month away at that point. Still no box art for the 2000 GT yet, so we'll see where that one ends up coming out. I'm not going to be too surprised if it ends up being around Christmas time for that. But be that as it may, the January releases are the 1976 Lamborghini Countach Walter Wolf version 2. It looks very much like the Walter Wolf version 1, except it is blue. And Walter Wolf, the F1 owner from Canada, had three versions of his Countach built. The first one was red, the second one was blue, and I believe the second one, the blue one, is still in Japan. At any rate, this is the first time that this car is being put into the new supercar line, so just a reissue in that sense. And then the other one is the brand new toolkit, the Liberty Walk Lamborghini Aventador version 1. Now, we talked about this, I think it was the last video, might have been the video before that, where this kit is much like the Liberty Walk Hurricanes, where it's going to be a very simplified basic kit, molded in color, Mylar stickers, a little bit of water slides, in this new sort of easy kit kind of thing that they've been doing with these last couple of automotive releases. Some people are not that thrilled with it. It doesn't matter to me necessarily. It just seems like an easier way to possibly actually get a kit finished in a realistic amount of time. Be interested to see how hard it would be to kit bash it with the full detail Aventador in terms of getting, full detail suspension and a full detail engine, or as full detail engine as the Aventador comes with. Kind of doesn't have an oil pan on it because it's got that bottom diffuser tray, which doesn't show the oil pan, so it's just the top block on top of the engines. You get some engine pieces that you'll kind of sort of see through the rear deck, but it is obviously, again, much more simplified. So those are your two Aoshima releases to look for early next year, at least in theory. We'll see as things sort of slide backwards whether or not we'll get that new toolkit on time in January. Kit releases this week, one here in the United States, and that is the Revel Ford Bronco half cab with the dune buggy and trailer. So this is fresh in at my local hobby shop. You see the price tag there, $32. It's a little higher than your normal Revel kit, I'm assuming because of the dune buggy and the trailer. The dune buggy and the trailer are snap-tight pieces from an old Revel kit. This is 125th scale. From the early 1980s. I think it was 1981 or 82 when the Chevy pickup truck that hauled this originally came out. So, no, you're getting plastic wheels, two-part plastic wheels on the dune buggy, plastic tires. I believe the tires on the trailer are technically 132nd scale tires, but that's sort of neither here nor there in the terms of what it looks like. A lot of the details molded in on the dune buggy. If you thought these two pieces were going to be new tools, nope, sorry, not happening for you. So know that they are, 30-plus-year-old pieces at this point. So don't be too terribly disappointed when you got it. I've seen a lot of people posting about how disastrous it is that it has plastic tires and why couldn't Revel retool this stuff. And if you look at the way these wheels and tires and suspension on these various parts are integrated, they basically would have to tool up an entire new bottom half of the dune buggy in order to make new wheel mounts for new tires, because the wheels and the tires obviously cast as one plastic piece. Is that a realistic expectation? Obviously, no, it's not, because these are some old things that are laying around. And I don't want to use the term lucky to see them back out, but in the sense of things that could have been thrown away, this probably should have been something that was thrown away. So the fact it still exists is kind of interesting. The only sort of like new parts to this kit are the half cab pieces for the Bronco. This will probably have the more traditional stock suspension setup as opposed to like the Baja Bronco. And, so that means that we're probably back to those underscale wheels on the Bronco again. So, yeah, know that going in. And yeah, it's supposed to be out in June. Obviously, did not make that release date. It's been out for several months in Europe, but it is just finally arriving on shelves here in the United States. And then overseas, we have a couple of Hasegawa kits and a couple of Aoshima reissues. First up, we'll talk about the new Platts release. This is one of the Platts Japan releases, where this is just window masks being added to the BMW 320 Super Production DTCC 2000 championship car. If you're looking for this thing, and specifically because it has the window mask in it, look for that little blue blurb below the BMW, and that'll let you know you're getting the right kit. If you want all the Marlboro stuff that's supposed to come with this car to build this car as it comes, as it's supposed to be, as far as what it's supposed to be in real life, you do need the detail upset. Detail upset in this kit, in addition to having the Marlboro livery and the peaks for the hood and the trunk and the door panels, also includes some carbon fiber, the normal PE stuff, the seatbelt stuff, as well as the antenna. So it is a fairly robust PE set. Obviously sold separately, but for anyone who happens to be interested in this and wants to make it look as realistic as possible, that's an option out there for you. And then over at Aoshima, we're just reissuing some kits here. You may recall there's a huge swath of spot runs this month, and these are the first 4 of them. So you have, first up, you have the 1991 Nissan Laurel Medalist Club L, the 2015 Lamborghini, let's see, Lancer on there and start just Lamborghini, and everything's a Lamborghini. Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 10 Final Edition, the 2006 Daihatsu Copen Ultimate Edition. You can build about 3 or 4 different versions of this, including a left-hand drive export version, so you could technically build a left-hand drive Daihatsu Copen Ultimate Edition, which is something that didn't exist in real life, but it could because of the parts in this box. You get the Ultimate Edition 1, Ultimate Edition 2, and I think the Premium Edition in here, as well as, like I said, the left-hand drive export edition. So you get like I think it's 2 or 3 sets of wheels, 2 grills, 2 different sets of seats, and obviously 2 dashboards and stuff like that. Big old bunch of parts if you have a whole bunch of Copens you need to build. And then lastly from Aoshima, the 98 Toyota Chaser JZX 100. Over to Hasegawa for some September, quote-unquote, new releases here. First up is a reissue of the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 3 Rally Malaysia 1996 edition. This kit has not been available since 1997. It had a 1 run back in the day, and it has not been out since. You may recall, if you watched the other channel, I picked one of these up on Buyee a few months ago because it hadn't been released, and it was a pretty good price on it, so I snagged it. And then pretty much as soon as I shipped it over, they announced this kit. So if you want one with minty fresh decals, and there's a lot of white on this that you wouldn't normally think is there, yeah, now you can have a nice minty set of decals. My Rally Malaysia kit that I bought original, yeah, it's probably going to become a different Evo 3 Rally kit because I have a couple of spare sets of decals for those cars. But for people who want to build the box art car, yeah, new decals. And then lastly, this week we have the Kremer Porsche 962C from the 1987 Nürburgring race for the World Sports Car Prototype Series. This car finished 14th in that race. The second place finishing car was a 962C as well. Why wasn't that done? Licensing would be my guess. Anyway, Yokohama, the primary sponsorship on this vehicle here. Red car, white car with red stripes. Hey, it'll go really well with your FAT Turbo, right? I haven't had a chance to really sit down with this car specifically and look at it compared to the box car, or the car on the box, I guess I should say. I say box car because Hasegawa measured one 962C chassis for the original Jost kit that they did back in the 1990s. Every single 962C kit they've done since then, from the 1990s through now, which is the reissue of all these 962Cs, starting about 4 years ago, and then all of the new cars with the new liveries like this. This is a reissue of obviously an old kit with brand new shit of decals. I've never done this livery before. And they're all the same as far as what the contents are, but not all 962Cs were the same in real life. So sometimes you have to sit down and see, like what's different. A lot of times it's exhaust ports. A lot of times it's the engine cooling, those brake duct intakes below the headlights and things like that. So yeah, I haven't had a chance to see how correct this is. There's no big mention of wrongness. Sometimes they'll state, kit contents do not match real car picture, things like that, but this one doesn't have that, so maybe it's reasonably close to the actual car that it's supposed to represent. But yeah, it's another 962C for you Group C collectors. And that, guys, wraps up this one. Told you it'd be a pretty short one. We hope you guys had a great weekend, and we'll see you on the other side.